Hey, you know what? We had so much fun with Puffin in round one. We got another Puffin for you.
Just line it up.
Puffin's popular.
Yeah, there are two of them here out of the room, and we
We got them
we,
both.
we managed to get them both. Also end up with Oscillio on the other side. So
Oscillio
the
one?
OG Oscillio, yep, Oscillio
OG
01.
Oscillio.
So yep,
Oscillio OG. No,
yep,
sorry. I'll
yeah.
stop. I'll stop.
Roberto, our Oscillio player, has been a regular on the hero, very solid with the original Volzar. Now,
The man's been playing Lightning as long as I've known him,
yes,
and he has shown a propensity for finding combo lines
hmm
that I think a lot of players might miss. So I've been very impressed with his play. However, on the other side of the board, we've got Matt Davey, kind of famous for slightly off meta builds, I would say. Interested to see what he's doing with his Puffin build. He's played it locally a few times to some success. So very interested to see how this plays out. I have a feeling we're just going to have a race on our hands.
I think so. I think that lines up well with what Roberto wants to do. Now, depending on what Matt's like deck composition looks like, pretty easy for him to run AB3.
Absolutely.
So
Yep. And
wouldn't be
Puffin
too surprised
plays
to see
enough
that.
blues. They have enough. They have enough block
hmm
on their armor suite. Most of their cards block 3. Some of them block 0,
Yes.
but most block 3. And plays enough blues that with AB3 present could presumably deal with the arcane Robert's doing as
Yes.
well. So I could really see this one going either way.
No less.
I dare say that the Puffin Marvel of my favorite hero Marvels they have printed.
Yes, it is quite nice for sure. Like all three of the high seas Marvels, the hero Marvels are incredible. Uh, just the framing on them, just so well done.
So Matt, our Puffin pilot over here presenting their deck, they look like they have brought AB2.
Understandable. You this is a little bit of a hedge, and it's hard to say, okay, I'm going to bring AB3, and then I just get gone in a flashed 1,000 times.
It's true. It's true. You kind of have to, run that balance. Am I going to be leaning into mechanologist strong equipment, or am I just going to try to execute my game plan and keep your kill ceiling a little higher?
Yes.
And I think that's what we see Matt Davey doing here. I think he's planning to just try to run this wizard over.
Yep.
Saying you've got a deck full of no blocks, you've got a deck full of cards that you don't want to block with in general, and you've got 2 block on your total equipment suite.
Yes.
That being said, we still see my favorite Flesh and Blood card on this battlefield. Starts with an S. Ends with Wormstriders.
Yep. It starts with an S and ends with a dead opponent.
And ends with Sadness.
Yeah.
Basically says, look, you're starting at 33 at best.
Yes.
Yep. So that's why we see that AB2 sitting over on the mech field saying, you know what, it's not 6, it's at least 8.
Yep. So we see here, Matt looked like he was just playing a cog with no crank and passing. Roberto cycling out Echo Flash to get a point of damage in.
Might as well get that free ping.
Yep. So Matt paying the 2 to cover it. And then so Matt no longer having the action point makes sense. Go ahead and play out the Sigil of Aether. Yep. I'm just gonna pass the turn back. Turn 0 is done with. So
that sets the card. Draws up.
Sky Warden. These look like cold foil cogs. I think at least the 2 in hand.
Mr. Matt Davey, more of a collector, I think, than anything. And I have looked through his binder, and it's difficult to find a non-foil in there.
It's wild. So the hand itself doesn't look too great. It looks like double Sky Warden, double cog. So we have a Sigil of Aether pop for 2 with the Volzar trigger. Because the Sigil will destroy and then add a trigger to the stack. So that is an instant that goes to the graveyard.
A lot of timing.
Yes.
Timing happening in these Oscillio decks. I mean, we see the Sigil of Aether go on the stack. Once it actually leaves, it puts that ping on the stack, which enables him to activate the Volzar since the instant has gone to the graveyard at that point. Now, I do believe we saw the Constella uplift there. Untap it.
Yep, and that ends up another ping for 2.
Yet another
Nice.
ping for 2. Yep.
So 2 and then 2, and the sigil will amp for 1. If it goes, the sigil will amp for 1 if it goes through.
Now, a lot of times, you see some of these Oscillio plays, like me, I'm a wizard enjoyer, but I come from the school of Iceland or the school of Verdance.
Yes.
I look at a card like Constella Uplift. Oh man, you untap your staff. Yay. Right?
Well,
But that's what these Oscillio players do. They find those little spots where they can get their value.
yes. Yep, we are definitely not in the land of waning moon at the moment, sadly for you. But
When I play Oscillio, we are. But so we have a judge call here, looking to get a
just some
timing compromise
on things.
So we're gonna let Judge Tyler sort that out. We've got Tyler loose here today.
What a
What a-
stallion of a human being, was a stalwart of the community.
Absolutely.
We would not have online data effort.
This is a man who loves to provide code for the code god, as they
Mhm.
say, right? Hugely involved in Cube, I believe.
Yeah.
Huge fan of Flesh and Blood Cube.
Runs an entire website based off of said cubing.
Incredible.
Fantastic human.
We'll be sure to get the link to that website and include it in the video information, I think.
Yep, the Fab Cube.
The Fab Cube. Incredible. So thanks to Tyler for judging for us today. It can be so hard to know when and what is happening against a wizard
Yep.
opponent if you're not really on top of, I don't know, this is an old term, this might date me, but I always think of them as app triggers, active
Yep.
player, non-active player.
Yep, precisely.
When you're just going through a game of Flesh and Blood, I attack, I block, sometimes you can forget how many priority windows there are
Yep.
in a given turn cycle.
Yep.
And the wizard player has the opportunity to use all of them.
Yeah.
So
and
it can be very tricksy.
it's one of the fun reasons it's very difficult to have chess clocks in these types of
this
games.
is true.
It's like
This
priority
is
window
true.
click. Priority click.
It's not that simple, is
Yeah,
it?
it's definitely not that simple. You're clicking back and forth dozens of times per turn.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yep. Famously, not really a solvable problem, actually. You just have to know when the priority windows are. And
pretty much.
I guess that's the solution. That's how you solve the problem.
It is. And into with the way that the triggers line up, it can lead to, especially like we just saw. We saw Sigil of Aether and playing the other card, yielding a couple of different things. I think the question was just surrounding the amp versus how it interacts with Comet Storm Shock. So it looks like both. No, it looks like just the Comet Storm side for 7.
It looks like we
it was amp,
that second amp applied to the Comet Storm,
Yes.
not to the
Yes. So this makes sense. Yep.
Yep,
So
we
just-
see another, a typically defensive card going to the bin. I've played against some Oscillios recently, and I haven't. Man, should I bring my D-Reacts in? I mean, if they're going to go on in the flash me, I want my D-Reacts, but
Yep.
sometimes they just send Comet Storm,
For sure.
and those cards that you normally like to block with end up getting pitched.
Yep. Ending on a Constella Contemplation for a point of damage and a Ponder. Oscillio doesn't really have that many bad Ponder targets.
It's true.
So
It's true.
overall, just a solid turn for Roberto.
One of those really important lessons you can learn in a game like this is card selection might not be card advantage, but it's darn close.
Yep. And Matt firing a CNC. We're gonna see a ping with Volzar.
Definitely.
Or, sorry, ping from Echo Flash here. Do we see a Volzar activation? Doesn't look like it, so it's just 1 point of damage.
Now we do see that Berto is hedging a Crown of Providence in this matchup.
Mhm.
The blocking utility helmet versus the new Sphinx's Third Eye helmet to take advantage of Ponder tokens. Well, with OG Oscillio, you're not really generating that many Ponder tokens. So not only do we see Crown of Providence pushing that card away for value, we also see a cloud cover coming out just to keep Berto nice and healthy. Very clean answer.
Yep.
Taking 2 off your opponent's CNC, not too shabby.
Yep.
Matt posturing a Arsenal here. We now see a Flashbolt, one of my favorite new wizard cards out of the new set. This is an instant coming in for 4 arcane damage off of the Will of Arcana pitched by Berto here.
Yep, and 2, it looked like, so Roberto taking 1, using a cloud cover in the the hat to cover
Oh, of
5 of the
course.
6.
Sure. For some reason,
Uh,
this the CNC was 7 in my mind. I don't know. I just made that up.
Yeah. So covering 5 of the 6, and then just saving the cloud cover for later, cycling out a blink, see what we get. Not the not a bad spot. You can still at least get 3 damage through. The kind of the alternate mode of 1 cost zap. Yep. So
These snapback effects, strike twice, snapback. I've always been a big fan of these in wizard decks, and the time has never quite been right, but they are quite good here. However, 2 card 3, it's not really ever where we want to be.
yep. So we see a Zeppelin, but we see a hand that like it looked like double meteoric impact, which kind of leads me to believe, okay, we're going to go ahead and see the cycle here. Yep, go ahead.
Posturing and block.
Block 6, and then chromatic refinement into meteoric impact for 7.
Oh man, that is juicy
it's
2 card play.
It is so it just lines up so nicely.
I'm such a fan. One of the chromatic what's it called? Chromatic refinement.
Mhm.
That is also one of my favorite cards out of this new set. It is often just a 1 card 2. However, it allows you to create those offensive overlaps. It allows you to invest in a future turn.
Mhm.
Now, we're not really seeing that executed here, but we do see Berto picking up that value. Yeah, he only got 2 points off one of those cards, but he's getting 5 off the other.
Absolutely.
It's huge.
Yep.
Between the Volzar activation and the card itself.
Yep. So, 2 card 7 is nothing to scoff at.
Matt again,
Matt
more than happy to put a yellow card into preventing 2 of that arcane damage. We got a copper cog hitting the bin.
Yep. So soup ups are live. 24 plays 34 at this point. Like Roberto really just pushing some damage through.
And so far, Berto will be playing a reasonably defensive game at the same time. I mean, he's still been blocking. We've seen him defend well 2 turns in a row while still sending relevant damage back.
Yep. So we see our first cog in the machine. Not something we had a chance to see in the previous game. So Matt having 2 action points. The rest, couple of additional cards here. Using Tunic to cover it. So getting the card draw, not having to pitch for it, gives him, this should be a pretty solid turn for Matt.
I got a trivia question for you.
Sure.
How many peg legs does Puffin have?
So
do we know? Do we know if it's 1 or 2?
In my mind, Puffin's the bird, and Hightail is
of course.
But that's just that's the whole Victor and horse thing.
Now, how do you think Matt is feeling about this 2-card play here? Because I believe Berto has the option to stuff this play, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, so we're seeing a Cosmic Suture to cover at least 4 of that.
However, there's still, I believe that means that 1 still hits. So that means Matt gets to search for a cog, put it into play, crank it, take the action point, and proceed with his turn.
Yep.
And I think what Berto is showing us here is his hand just doesn't block this sufficiently. Otherwise, I'm sure he would.
Yeah.
That's the thing about these, like Cosmic Suture. It's a very powerful card. Very powerful card. But it only defends the way it wants to defend. Now, here is what makes that make sense.
Yep. Double Cosmic Suture covering the next effective 8 damage, doing 1 arcane off the first, to cycling a Voltic Veil into 2 arcane on the second using Volzar.
Now that is a very efficient 3-card play.
Absolutely.
Look at that. But now he pitched 1 blue, but the first Cosmic Suture triggered his chess piece, creating 1 resource, allowing him to play the second Suture very efficiently. And then the Suture soaks up the damage from the follow-up because it's damage this turn, not the next damage you take.
Yes.
Right? Very powerful distinction there between a lot of the prevention effects we see. It's not just the next damage, like Cloud Cover. Cloud Cover, you can maybe, you might see an Arachne or a Syndra ping into that Cloud Cover. But here, Roberto was able to get the full value out of both sutures, which is exactly where he wants to be.
Yep. And Matt ending on a Sigil from Arsenal, being able to kind of just translate all the cards, arsenaling this backup Protocol Red. Roberto's turn kind of coming back was just a simple Arsenal pass. So we're seeing Matt with a full grip on the offensive.
See what damage he can put out with 4 cards off the top.
Mm-hmm.
A little hand fixing. Another gear turner.
Yep.
Another question for you.
Pitching.
Is this one going to hit?
Importantly, pitching a red. So cycling through a chromatic refinement, drawing into a comic collision.
I believe.
Like blink, contemplation, comic collision, flashbolt is what we see in hand at the moment.
Blink, a very interesting inclusion in a lot of these Oscillio decks. Cloud cover out of the arsenal to again cover that full gear turner. Roberto was saying, hey, you're trying to get value out of this gear turner, and I won't have it.
So covering that sufficiently. Let's see, it looks like
another flashbolt coming in.
Flashbolt for 4.
Matt happy to pitch into it. I think we're just going to see an arsenal on Matt's turn.
Yep, arsenaling a Palantir.
Not a bad arsenal target.
Not bad.
Take it.
We still have a backup protocol to fire off on Roberto's turn.
Roberto is holding his own very well in this game. He is, I think a lot of people think of Oscillio as this bombastic combo deck, and can be, but Roberto's showing us you don't have to play it that way. You can definitely play a back and forth game. Keep yourself quite healthy.
Yep. So it looks like
wait for the turn.
Yep. Yeah. Precisely that. Like just find your spots. So Matt opting to not use the backup protocol, and instead starting the next turn with a crash site salvaged, scrapping a cog. So this has go again, generates a gold. Overall, just a solid turn.
I think here we're seeing too the difference between what happens when a Polycranca is left to play and when one of those random arcane pings takes it out early.
Yes, you have to work a lot harder to get that card draw.
Much harder. And Crash Site Salvage is one of those cards that helps bring Puffin that consistency I was mentioning.
Yes.
Being able to give yourself a little pressure and create a gold to help fuel future cranks, future card draws.
So we see, that's a Sigil of Aether being cycled through. It's a Palantir, just kind of a 2 cost 6 Palantir, nothing really fancy happening. Giving the nodes just as you have to give something. Doesn't matter if it actually has a block value. Then we see a Voltic Veil, which is going to cover 4 damage and ping for 1.
Another very interesting card, and lots of times, it might be hard to get that value off that ping, but often when an opponent is lining up a turn like this, they're not trying to hold a card to pitch, right? They're not trying to hold a card just to prevent a ping. He wants that card going in his arsenal, right? So pretty easy for Berto to pick up that extra value.
Play out the Sigil of Brilliance to get an instant in the yard next turn. Contemplation to push another point of damage through.
So Ponder created.
And it's very interesting from Roberto's side, or rather, because he's sending he's sending more ones now. Like whereas we saw a couple of 2 pings at the start, but now it's like, okay, ping for 1. Are you paying 2 resources to stop 1 damage?
Right.
And we're going to see this turn where Roberto's going to send at least a 5, if not more, depending on what he draws. Draws an impact, so this is for 6.
And we spoke about the loadout options for the mechanologist in this matchup. He could have run AB3 pretty easily, but there's no way to know what version of Oscillio is being run. There are plenty of builds out there where you want that block on your equipment. But Matt, having just guessed wrong, not only is he in this more awkward spot where he has to pay 2 to prevent 1, but he also has 3 block value that is essentially wasted in his equipment suite. And there's just no way to know, especially early in a meta like this. There's a lot of changes to these Oscillio lists happening every day, every week, in and out throughout national season.
So there's a 17 place 29. Roberto managing to do some good damage here, but see a Copper Cog into a Puffin activation, draw a card, and now we have a dovetail on the stack with 2 cogs.
I believe I saw that was an either flare that Berto is lining up to block with. Could just be that he just doesn't feel he's going to be able to use it this hand.
Yep, we're close to a spot where that's really good, but it's not. We're not quite there yet.
You know, with these Oscillio decks can do crazy damage. I have done 26 damage as Oscillio at instant speed
Hmm.
in recent weeks. You know, it absolutely can be done.
Yep. So yeah, we see a Voltic Veil come out to cover four, covering now 7. Um,
I'm a huge fan of this build that Berto is showing us. I
yeah.
mean, I'm sure he has a very modular sideboard that allows him to play these much grindier defensive games than I think most people would expect from an OG Oscillio.
Yep. For a deck with a lot of instants, he sure is preventing a lot of damage.
It's absolutely true. Looks like we're getting go again on the dovetail.
Yep. Using the boots as a pseudo snapdragons into a soup up.
Not bad by the numbers.
Yep.
5 go again, into 4 go again, into CNC.
Very nicely sequenced, kind of evening up the life totals a bit. See now 19 plays 16.
Unfortunately, just damage for Matt in that case since there's no arsenal to target. However, I do think that we are still yet again playing right into what Berto wants to be doing. Another one of my favorite cards from this new set, Turn to Mindfire. Such a house of a card.
So, have you yet to experience what Icelander getting a ponder token?
Oh, it's disgusting.
It's so nice.
It's so
this
nice.
card is wonderful in both formats. Matt covering 3 of the damage with a shelter and a blue pitch from a Pinion Sentry. So Roberto getting to send 2 damage across, tap the hero for a ponder. That is value.
I know I could be wrong in this, and I might be a little biased. Turn to Mindfire is my pick for second best card out of Omens.
All right.
Now I'm a wizard player. Again, biased. I think either sling. 1 resource, 4 damage. If it deals, tap your hero and go again. I think that card is incredibly powerful. Might not be the flashiest, but a tool that wizards have never had before. Incredible.
Yep.
Now
So
we see a 2-card play from Matt here.
Yep, that's a yellow Zeppelin, so base 5. Very easily bumped to 6. So
We're
it
just
looks
see
like
a block for 6 here, and another 2-card hand from Berto. Yeah.
Yep.
That's one of my complaints about that card, the Clockwork Zeppelin, is it gives my opponent the decision of if my turn gets to continue or not. Ooh, we see a red pitching for 3 here, effectively, turning on Volzar, coming in for 6.
Another turn to Mindfire for 6. Now we might get to see if that's an instant. If it's something like a snapback or a strike twice, that could really be filthy here.
Now instead we see
Oasis.
Yeah, we see Oasis and a yellow pitch to, I believe, fully cover.
That is
no ponder created, though Berto did already have an arsenal, so no real value lost there. However, I did just see we are definitely getting to where Berto is going to be looking very closely at his hands. Is this a combo hand? Can I do it?
So starting with another Cognitive Machine pitching a Sky Warden.
I believe that was an Oasis Respite we saw ripped off the top.
And then just a gun for 3.
Matt can't be upset about that.
For sure. I think there was a Sigil of Solace in the arsenal for Matt.
So maybe we'll see the value play here.
Yeah,
Let's play out the Sigil.
Yep. Fire off that. Yep, Sigil of Solace.
All of a sudden, I was going to hand this to Berto, but all of a sudden, Matt's looking pretty good. Now he's low on cogs. These cogs are going to go away. However, he is ahead on life for the first time, I believe, and has an Oasis set up neatly in his arsenal. He's got to feel pretty safe.
I spy 2 pummels.
Oh my goodness. Do we have a pummel target?
Matt is a madman, and I really enjoy this.
I am such a fan.
Yep. So we'll see how this goes.
We see the Volzar activation. We see an Ether Flare.
Yep, looks like a red Ether Flare coming in for 4. With Sigil of Brilliance going to the yard to draw a card, also be an instant. Allow the amp for Volzar.
And we do have a flashback in Berto's hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm betting that he is debating a Metacarpus Nodes activation if he can pay for it.
I think this would be a fine spot for it.
Front loading the Ether Flare is so huge.
Yeah.
Looks like he is going to go for it. Nodes activation, so that should be for 5 arcane. So that means the follow-up is going to come in, if it's Flashbolt, as I assume, minimum for 6.
So
It's a lot of damage at this point.
AB2, and I think we might still see the Oasis here. It certainly makes sense. Yep, pitch the second pummel. There's the Oasis. Fully cover this. I think if
I believe that, are those both yellow pummels?
yes.
So we should have one floating to allow for a little bit. Oh no, we have to AB2.
Yep.
So that
So I
makes it a little awkward for the
this is
follow-up
gonna
there.
be this could be 3. Yep, just pitch the other. Yeah, tune, and then we'll see this turn. It's probably just gonna be tunic up to 2. Arsenal, this cog in the machine.
If that Oasis had not been present in this turn cycle,
Oh,
I would have felt so much better as Berto here. But now, though I suppose Matt's looking to just Arsenal and pass here.
yep.
Got anything on my turn,
Yep.
Mr. Wizard? No? Okay, show me what you can do.
And that was definitely a window that Roberto could have, if he had something to play it out. But it's hard to know. Like
It is. And, it looks like we're going, we've got a turn here that wants to set up. That is the problem with including cards like Cosmic Suture, Voltic Veil, is sometimes you draw too many of them and your opponent just passes.
Mhm.
But we do see here Roberto finding a little value.
Yep. So Constella uplift after cycling through some cards.
You know what I think Roberto's
2
thinking
damage.
right now? Give me my staff back.
I know he was definitely unhappy when Volzar got.
Yeah,
banned. I do not
Volzar
blame
was
him.
broken. Though,
Do not
so,
blame him. That card was
offensive.
Yes. Um, so yep, we see the Constella for 2 into a Comet Collision for 4. So that Comet Collision is going to do 2, bringing Matt down to 16. So 16 all currently.
I believe I see a Crash Site Salvage. Probably going to
Yes.
start the turn out.
And
Oh, yep. No, we're going to draw a card first, actually. We're going to get
Yes.
some more cogs. We're going to draw a card. Crank, crank.
2 action points, draw a card. There's another copper cog in the hand as well. So they'll start a setup for the following turn.
Here we go again. Make a gold.
Make a gold. I can see one of the action points just being used on playing a cog and not cranking it for that setup.
I think I think that is absolutely true. And I gotta say too, I am not sure who I'm giving this game to at this point.
Yep. I like this from Matt. He's reserving the blue in hand, and it's a cog. You can play it,
Absolutely.
or you can arsenal it, and it's perfectly reasonable both ways.
Especially, like we mentioned, without Polycranka, looking for that extra source of crank. Of course, he has nice and healthy gold stockpile going.
Yep.
So for now, he can be assured he's going to be getting his value.
So yep.
Cosmic Flare coming out, generating 3 resources.
Yeah, it was a Sigil of Brilliance, and then the flare to generate 3 resources, and still has 5 cards in hand.
And I believe there was a chromatic refinement on the board as well,
and an effective 4 resources. This is there's going to be a lot of damage coming.
I see some fireworks right now. We've got a strike twice in hand. I believe that is a turn to mind fire in hand. I see at least a yellow to fuel it
with an effect with the effective 4 resources.
Incredible.
On top of that,
yeah, I think this is definitely a hand that was worth keeping.
Yep. So should be 2 resources floating after this. Yep. So this is coming in. I'm going to say the refinement, it'll do an extra damage. I think it's worded kind of the old way. So I think this would do 2 into 6.
Were we playing the shock side first, then into the Comet Storm? Is that what we're seeing right
Yes.
now? It looks like the shock resolved, and then
shock was for 2, Comet Storm was for 6. So A being taking 4. And looks like he's playing the Echo Flash, and this is for 1 and 1 at that point. And then into a strike twice.
Really challenging that hand from Matt Davey here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is that spot that, so many players lament when facing a wizard on the other side. That wizard is going to pressure your hand, ask for cards, and then pass with Storm Striders up. And what are you going to do about it?
And there's a turn to Mindfire in the arsenal. So this is...
Matt is very much in danger here. If he taps out, we could absolutely just see some fireworks to end the game for him very quickly.
But at least he did, like we mentioned with the cog arsenal, he gets to draw an additional card.
We have a Sigil of
Throwing.
Solace ripped off the top for Matt. He's got to be happy with that. I believe Berto has seen 2 Oasis, 2 Sigil of Solace, but now we've got that third destined for the Arsenal, I believe. See if I mean, if I'm Matt Davey, I'm saying, wonder if, we have a Stormstrider's activation.
Yep, I think this is just to preserve the arsenal card, preserve the damage, which makes sense.
We've got a Will of Arcana.
So this is turn mine for 7.
Or 7. But we know that there's a strike twice waiting in the wings with a card to pitch for it. And
going down to 3.
Oscillio.
Yep.
Interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we had a strike twice. I must have misread that. So now we have an Oscillio activation.
Yep.
Ponder created.
So it's just going to be a simple blue zap or simple red zap here. It looks like just 3.
And with AB2 only, it will only take so many of those. Berto just has to hang on. And Matt knows he has to keep shields up at all times.
Yes. And the Stormstriders being gone is huge.
It's a big deal, but Oscillio doesn't need Stormstriders to kill you on your turn.
Correct. So still getting 1 damage through. Getting the Arsenal card thanks to the Ponder.
Soup up coming in. So the magic number is currently 4.
Soup up for 4. A soup up for 4. Into another soup up. This is a
Berto going to 1. Yep. Show me what you've got, pal. Like, now I see I believe another Cogworks Zeppelin and a blue cog in hand, if I'm not mistaken. That would force cards out of Berto's hand, but it also makes the turn cycle quite face up.
Yeah, and going completely shields down is really tough. I think he's just saying, you have it.
If you got it, you got it.
Yep. And it looks like he might only have a 2 points of damage here, which is enough.
Oh, but we see him generating 4 resources, 3 from Cosmic Flare, 1 off the chess piece.
So yeah, it was Gear Turner. So it costs 1, leaving 2 up. So he has an AB2 at least, forcing the 2 here. So yep, cycling or playing the Flare, using the Constella Uplift to do 2, and then following up with a Contemplation that will also do 2. So yep, that is
and
the
we
game.
See the fist bump. Tight play from both our players.
Yeah, what in Cam's interview, Cam mentioned that they were definitely a bit scared of Oscillio.
Sure.
And we kind of see some of why. Where it's just constant pressure, solid defense, being able to go back and forth. Matt's build is a little better suited for the matchup than most, I think.
I would agree with that.
Because he has the sigils and the oases. Kind of justifies why it's very easy to play. It would be very easy for him to run just the AB2, still maintain unicycle. We didn't see Matt really have that pop-off turn.
Yeah. We really never got to see him do that big dovetail into Palantir that they dream about. And Berto just played tight, played defensive, played grindy, and got there in the end. So well played to both players. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us in the feature match area. We're going to see if we can get Berto on for an interview shortly.
Indeed.
And we'll be back for round 3. Thanks, folks.
Thank you much.